Who is it under the mask?
I am Sub-Zero, Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei.
That's a first.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Gemini Berserker, and as you can tell from the first minute and so from the trailer, that is the Sub-Zero player trailer release. And you know, just the same thing I did for Red Hood, and do a little reaction video and what are my thoughts on him. So, first thing is, I guess he's supposed to play like how he does in MKX with the whole slide freeze thing that you guys saw. His combos seem they seem quick. He seems like he's gonna hit fast. Like, he seems like he can out-hit a lot of people in this game. My biggest thing is that I'm going to talk about the dislikes first, get them out the way. I don't think they did their best with him. Personally, to me, like, I've played Mortal Kombat, I've played MKX, and I've played a Sub-Zero, I've played him in MK9, Armageddon, Deception, so on and so forth. He does not play. He just doesn't seem like he plays like how he should. That's my thing. He doesn't look like he plays as he should. I think his combos are very, what's the word? I don't want to say bulky because they're not like sluggish, but I guess the word I would be looking for would be they seem very clunky in the sense that if you try and hit them, they might fall. But I do think he is. The main reason I believe they put him in here is due to the whole first Injustice, where they put Scorpion in him, and you know that makes sense. They put Scorpion in, and then in the first one, so I guess it only makes sense to put Sub-Zero in the second one. Yeah, that's fine. But at least in the first one, Scorpion at least semi-played as himself. All they did was change his direction for his specials. So that's the only thing that's the only thing that I can gather from it. As far as resemblance, I do like his character design. I feel like with the addition of the gear, that it will make his character look a lot cooler. And that's what I like. I like when you can change your character's look. I think it makes a big difference in how they look, man. It's aesthetically pleasing. As far as his redeeming qualities, I do like the Ice Hammer touch that they put in. I think if that's going to be his main form of ice weaponry, that's a pretty good standpoint, because, you know, it's a hammer. It's fucking brutal. But, you know, with the addition of, you know, his grab not throwing, actually, just kind of leaving you staggered, I think that could be a big problem for both sides. Because, you know, a throw is supposed to, you know, throw you. It's supposed to move you after the sequence is done. Like, A grab is supposed to, you know, push you away, either way, left or right, depending on your perspective. And I feel like his doesn't do that. I feel like it's more of a staggering tool to where, like, you set it up to get a longer combo off. And I mean, that's fine and all, but it's just for the fact that I feel like he could have been a lot better done. And, you know, that's just my 2 cents on him. I feel like he could, I feel like, he could have been, they could have done a little bit better with him. Like I'm not one of the game devs, so I can't really say anything, but like put my little 2 cents in. And, you know, I think, you know, personally, I think Sub-Zero, the way he's going to play is, you know, same way he's always played in Mortal Kombat, is, you know, very close range, very setup-ish with his, with the ice clones and everything. And I do think the ice clone touch is, I can't even remember from MKX if he did the whole jumping ice clone thing, where he can set up the one on the top and then have the mid-air one. I know he can set them up separately, but I think that is pretty cool that you can now set that up just in case you have someone who's like myself, who likes to jump around things to move myself away from it. And I think that's going to be a valuable asset to him. For the most part, his moves, as far as special moves, he's still got the ice ball, the ice clone, the ice slide, the ground freeze. You know, the simple stuff. You know, they haven't changed too much about the character because there's not really anything else you can really do to Sub-Zero that would make him play any different aside from just combos. Now, as far as combos, I want to actually see like some really good combos from him, based on the fact that, you know, with the combos, I want to be able to string with it. And, you know, that's the whole point of fighting games, is to see if something does string, if something doesn't string. And I feel like we might get that from this version, the Injustice version of Sub-Zero. But also at the same time, I'm not too sure how it's gonna fully work out. Like, same thing with Red Hood. Like, from what they showed, was not everything, is more so the basic extended combos that, you know, people put up on YouTube, shit like that. It's like, oh, how to get good as such and such, you know, those type videos. But the one thing that I will say, and I'm gonna go into this transition into what I think is good about him. Now, what I think is his most redeeming quality is fucking Super. That Super is fucking dope as shit. Like, that's on some high key level shit. Like, he starts off with the slide, and then, you know, freezes you midair, hammers you, he ice ports, then does the icicle shard, and then, you know, finishes it off. And I think that's, and then throws you to finish it off. I think that's pretty cool. I think it could have used like a heavier slam type ish thing. So, you know, that's just where I'm thinking of, but, you know, not the game dev, so not up to me. But yeah, his Super is really nice. I think, like I said, his character concept is very pleasing to look at, and, you know, that's just how I feel about him. Now, his playstyle, I'm going to talk a little more about his playstyle. Now, as with anyone, you know, everyone has that one move that they can zone with, or they're going to give him an ability to zone with. And you know what, that's something I am tempted to see, is his abilities, because, you know, from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything too ability-esque. Like, I haven't been able to make out anything, if he's actually if they're even gonna give him an ability. Because usually what it looks like, they've already given him the stuff from MKX, so it's not too much that they can, doesn't seem like too much they can give him as far as abilities. Because, I mean, unless they like somehow give him more of the ice weapons, or like they make his ice, or unless the ability for the double ice clone unless that is the ability, and that's somehow gonna play a big role in it. Because, you know, certain abilities give you a big advantage especially in like player matches, even though player matches don't really revolve too much around your world ranking, even though there is a ranking system for that. Um, like I said, I just feel like, he's gonna be a pretty good, fun character to play as. I don't think there's really too much to go in depth about. Um, what's something else that I am too keen or not keen on about him? I, I can also say that, as far as future content, I am not too hype about Raiden being in the game as well. I feel like they're kind of overstepping the boundaries of cameos. I feel like they're kind of overstepping the boundary of cameos in this game. Now, Sub-Zero, I get it. You put Scorpion in the first one, you wanted to even it out by putting the second poster child of the game in it. So, with the addition of Raiden, I am not too stoked about because, okay, now we have another semi-electric based character. You have Black Adam, you have the Flash, you have a lot of projectile based people, and Raiden is very mid. He's very mid. He's mid to short screen. And what I mean by that, he doesn't really have too many widescreen moves, which is fine. Like, I prefer characters who have to get up close. I prefer to like outskill a person than to just zone them, because I feel like zoning is just kind of a cheap way of just getting around actually having to fight someone. And that's what any fighting game, any game that you have projectile based characters. So Raiden, as far as further people, I will continue to say this. Out of the pack one, my biggest anticipations was Red Hood and Starfire. Being for the fact that Starfire has gotten almost zero cover time other than the Teen Titans show from back in the day. Like, yeah, she has showed up in the newer DC animations for like the new Teen Titans with Damian in them. And I do like the new art style that they're going with. I think it's very clean and cut. But as far as Starfire, I think I feel like she might play a little like Firestorm as far as the regards to her abilities, being that she's probably gonna have the laser eyes. Her abilities are gonna be surfaced around her. Her shooting her bolts of energy and her eye beams. And as far as like her actual abilities, I'm not too sure where they're gonna go with that. But that's how I feel about Sub-Zero. I don't think they can really do too much with him because then it would taint his character. But that was my 2 cents. Let me guys know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.